जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। जशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी। जशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। क्या करना है? हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। अच्छा बोल लो। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। जय राधा माधव राधा माधव जय राधा माधव। जय राधा मदन मोहन राधे। जय गौरा निताय पतित पावन गौर निताय। जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा सुभद्रा माई जय सुदर्शना। जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। कलयुग धाम नाम संकीर्तन की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतुषे नमः नीलाचलनिवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीम् उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणे हरे कृष्ण Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4th, Chapter 26, Verse 15. Na tatirthar hi rochante griheshu griha sampadaha jadi na syad grihe mata pati va patni va pati devata vyange ratha iva pragya ko nama sita dinavat ना तथैर अर्हि रोचन्ते गृहेषु गृहसम्पदः यदि न स्याद् गृहे माता पत्नी वा पतिदेवता व्यंगे रथा इव प्राज्ञा को नामासित दीनवत् न तथैत अर्हि रोचन्ते गृहेषु गृहसम्पदा यदि न स्यात् गृहे माता पत्नी वा पतिदेवता व्यंगे रथा इव प्राज्ञा को नामासित दीनवत्। रोचन्ते गृहेषु गृहसम्पदा यदि न स्यात् गृहे माता पत्नी वा पतिदेवता व्यंगे रथैव प्राज्ञा को नामासित दीनवत्। न तथैर्हि रोचन्ते गृहेषु गृहसम्पदा यदि न स्यात् गृहे माता पत्नी वा पतिदेवता व्यंगे रथ इव प्राज्ञा को नामासित दीनवत्। माता जी, न तथैत अर्हि रोचन्ते गृहेषु गृहसम्पदा यदि न स्यात् गृहे माता पत्नी वा पतिदेवता व्यंगे रथा इव प्राज्ञा को नामासित दीनवत्। Word to word meaning and translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Na, not, tatha, like before, etarhi, at this moment, rochante, become pleasing, griheshu, at home, griha sampada, all household paraphernalia, yadi, if, na, not, syat, there is, grihe, at home, mata, mother, patni, wife, va, or, pati devata, devoted to the husband, vyange, without wheels, rathe, in a chariot, iva, like, pragya, learned, learned men, kaha, who is that, nama, indeed, asita, would sit, dinavat, like a poverty-stricken creature. King Puranjan said, I do not understand why my household paraphernalia does not attract me as before. I think that if there is neither a mother nor devoted wife at home, the home is like a chariot without wheels. Where is the fool who will sit down on such an unworkable chariot? Please repeat. King Puranjan said, I do not understand why my household paraphernalia does not attract me as before. I think that if there is neither a mother nor devoted wife at home, the home is like a chariot without wheels. Where is the fool who will sit down on such an unworkable chariot? Purport. The great politician Chanakya Pandit said, Mata yasya grihe nasti bharya cha apriyavadini aranyam tena gantavyam yatha aranyam tatha griham. If a person has neither a mother nor a pleasing wife at home, he should leave home and go to the forest, because for him there is no difference between the forest and home. The real mata or mother is devotional service to the Lord, and the real patni or devoted wife is a wife who helps her husband execute religious principles in devotional service. These two things are required for a happy home. Actually, a woman is supposed to be the energy of the men. Historically, in the background of every great man, there is either a mother or a wife. One's household life is very successful if he has both a good wife and mother. In such a case, everything about household affairs and all the paraphernalia in the house becomes very pleasing. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had both good mother and pleasing wife, and he was very happy at home. Nonetheless, for the benefit of the whole human race, he took sannyas and left both his mother and wife. In other words, it is essential that one have both a good mother and wife in order to become perfectly happy at home. Otherwise, home life has no meaning unless one is religiously guided by intelligence and renders devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His home can never become very pleasing to a saintly person. In other words, if a man has good mother or a good wife, there is no need of taking sannyas. That is, unless it is absolutely necessary, as it was for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki jai, Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki jai. So before speaking something on these words, I would like to seek the blessings of Prabhuji, Amay Prabhu, and Radhesham Prabhu, and all other assembled Vaishnavas. So few months back we had one camp in our temple in Bhubaneswar. So, and we had good fortune of having Radhesham Prabhu and Gauranga Prabhu on the same platform. So while dropping Gauranga Prabhu on airport, so I requested him to bring His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj to our temple. And then repeatedly I was messaging him, Prabhuji, please, you have promised that you will bring Maharaj to our temple. So today Maharaj is in our temple and he is giving class there. But somehow I am here, so not able to take his association. And I am performing a very difficult service of speaking before Srila Prabhupada's disciple and Prabhuji. It's not an easy task, but still for my own purification and for the pleasure of devotees, I would like to speak something. And this temple is very special because we have read in like many times that Srila Prabhupada visited here, and also since I am from Bhubaneswar, so Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj was here for around 6 months as a brahmachari, and from here only he went to Vrindavan to take sannyas from Srila Prabhupada. So in that sense, this temple is very special. So I am very fortunate to be here with all of you. So this particular verse we are discussing, this is King Puranjana. So this is the allegorical story that is being narrated by Narad Muni to King Prachin Bharishat to bring him to Krishna consciousness. So the sons of King Prachin Bharishat, the Prachitas, are already devoted. They have become devotees. And so when Lord sees that someone has become devoted, so then he makes arrangement for their parents also to become devotees. We all have this experience. After we came to Krishna consciousness, somehow Krishna arranges that our parents also get into Krishna consciousness. So that is how Lords arrange. So similarly, we are seeing the Prachitas have become devoted. So Lord has arranged, Lord has inspired Narad Muni to go to King Prachin Bharishat and to preach him. So he is preaching through this allegorical story. We see in Srimad Bhagavatam different times. Like in the 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Yayati Maharaj is speaking to Devyani to evoke Krishna consciousness within her and detachment. So he's telling a story of a goat. But it's not the story of goat, it's actually their own story. So like this many times, uh, in Srimad Bhagavatam we see this kind of allegorical stories. So now allegorical stories have the both, like these words itself has certain meaning, and then it is interpreting to another meaning. So Prabhupada in his purport has covered both the direct meaning of the shloka and the shloka that it is the meaning that is being interpreted. So the direct meaning Prabhupada writes, like Prabhupada is quoting Chanakya Pandit, that if at home there is mata jasya grihana asti, if there is no loving mother and if there is no devoted wife, then that place is as good as forest. It is better to live at forest than at home, because at forest one will derive some peace, but at home he will not be able to derive that peace. So therefore it is recommended that if that condition is not fulfilled, one should go to forest. And so Prabhupada is writing that a wife, devoted wife, is very important part of it's the devoted wife is the energy of the men, and she inspires the men to act religiously. So now we see in Srimad Bhagavatam there are different instances that how wife is being glorified. Say for example, in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, when we see Devahuti. So Kardam Muni and Devahuti got married. Actually Manu Maharaj put Devahuti under Kardam's care, and there it is written that Devahuti served Kardam Muni just like Mother Parvati served Lord Shiva. The question arises that why not giving the analogy of Lakshmi serving Narayan? Why giving the analogy of Parvati serving Lord Shiva? Because the analogy is between the common points. The common point is Devahuti is daughter of King Manu. She is a Rajkumari. And Kardam Muni is a sage. So Rajkumari getting married to a sage. That means she is leaving aside all her comforts and then coming to Kardam Muni to serve him. Similarly, Parvati is daughter of King of Himalayas, King of mountains, Himalayas. And then that means she is a Rajkumari. She is leaving all her comfortable situation and coming to Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva does not have even his own home. So that means she is sacrificing all her comforts and devoting to her husband. So therefore this analogy is being given. And then in that same chapter, Kardam Muni is speaking to Devahuti that since you have served me so nicely, because you have served me so nicely, so you do not have any experience of spiritual realization. You do not have any spiritual realization. You do not have any you have not practiced any spiritual practices. But simply because you have served me wholeheartedly, whatever benedictions I have received, you will be sharing it with me. So Prabhupada writes in that purport that similarly, when disciple serves Guru, so Guru has a lot of spiritual realizations and disciple doesn't have any realization. But the disciple, if simply he serves the spiritual master wholeheartedly, he receives all those realizations simply by the mercy of Guru. Similarly, we see in the third canto, in one section, wife is compared with fort, and the senses of the men are compared with the plunderers. So just like when plunderers attack, the fort actually give protection. Similarly, when there is attack of lust, when our senses have certain demands. So Prabhupada writes in that purport that if someone is, if he's not a trained brahmachari, vanprasth or sannyasi, and if he's not trained, then, and if he's not married, both the things. If he's not a trained brahmachari, not a trained vanaprasthi, or not a trained grihastha, not a trained sannyasi, and if he's not married as well. So what happens then? And when then there is attack of lust and other enemies, then one become a first class debauchee. Prabhupada writes the first class debauchee. Because then he is not able to restrain his senses and he is not married. So what he'll do? Then Prabhupada writes that he'll pollute the society. And therefore it is recommended that either one should be a trained brahmachari, trained vanprastha, or trained sannyasi, or one must be into a grihastha ashram practicing Krishna consciousness with wife. And therefore wife is called Ardhangini. She shares the religious duties, and also she shares the benedictions that are derived after performing the religious duties. So like this, Srila Prabhupada has glorified grihastha ashram in that sense. So this particular verse is taking us to that direction. But then this particular verse is also taking us to the allegorical, the interpretation that mother is compared with the devotional service of the Lord, and intelligence is compared with wife, devoted wife. So yesterday, like Prabhuji was telling, so intelligence, in Bhagavad Gita we find many times this word buddhi yoga has come. Now we see sometimes on YouTube there are different people, those who comment on Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita. They say that jahan zarurat nahi hai, where there is no necessity of putting bhakti, Prabhupada is putting bhakti, because Prabhupada is translating buddhi yoga as bhakti yoga many times. So, so that means they try to comment on Srila Prabhupada like this. But we see that why Srila Prabhupada has translated buddhi yoga as bhakti yoga many times, like yesterday Prabhuji was telling, and that Baldev Buddha Bhushan has commented. Buddhi yoga means intelligence have two functions now. Intelligence function on different levels. Initially, when we come to Krishna consciousness, our mind and senses are not controlled. So the intelligence is helping us to calm down our mind. Intelligence is teaching mind, you don't do this because it is harmful. You control your senses and somehow engage yourself in Krishna consciousness. So like this, at initial platform, intelligence is helping us to restrain our mind and senses so that we can perform the Krishna conscious activities. And later on, this intelligence, when it catches Naam, Roop, Guna, Lila of Krishna. So buddhi yoga in two senses. One is, for initially, when a sadhaka is struggling with his mind and senses, intelligence helps to control mind and senses and engage in Krishna consciousness. And then when intelligence becomes purified, then it catches Naam, Roop, Gun, Lila. It appreciates Naam, Roop, Gun, Lila of the Lord. Sometimes these two words, purified and is used, intelligence become purified. Sometimes it is used that intelligence was sleeping earlier, now it has awakened. Like the first prayer that Dhruva Maharaj is offering to the Lord. Jo anta pravishya mama vacha imam prasuptam sanjiveti akhil shakti swadhamna. So earlier my senses were sleeping and now my senses have woken up. What does it mean? It means earlier my senses were not able to catch spiritual substance. It was only catching material things. I was attracted to material things. But now my intelligence, my senses, it has woken up. Woken up means now they are catching spiritual things. Or similarly, the word is used impure senses and pure senses. Impure senses means impure senses only attracting impure, that means material things. Purified senses means it is attracting purified, that means spiritual subject. So these words are interchangeably used sometimes. Purified intelligence. Just like we have this example, if in a room if a room is filled with so many flowers, but at certain corner there is some dirt, some like dirty things are there. The flies will not be attracted to the flowers, rather they will be attracted to the dirt. But housefly, this is the nature of housefly. But in the same room, if the entire room is filled with dirty things, at certain corner there are aromatic flowers. The honeybee will be attracted to that aromatic flowers and not to the dirt. So similarly, so our impure senses are compared with the houseflies and our purified senses are compared with the honeybee. When senses have become purified, even if there is lot of dirt everywhere around, but mind and senses will go towards Krishna. And if it is not purified, the senses are not purified, what will happen? Even if there is Krishna consciousness all around, still will be attracted towards dirty things. So this is how we can check whether our senses are purified or not purified. Being in association of devotees, sometimes or many times our mind goes to dirty things. That means still we have to work upon it. And even if we are outside into the, like within the material, all the material things all around us, but still if our mind and senses are going towards Krishna, hankering for Krishna, so then that means that yes, some level of Krishna consciousness has begun. Once I was at Ujjain, so I approached His Holiness Bhakti Prem Maharaj. I said, Maharaj, when I was at home, every time I used to hanker, when I'll go to temple, when I'll go to temple, when I'll take darshan. But when I'm in temple, I do not have that kind of enthusiasm. So Maharaj said, ठीक है, घर चले जाओ वापस. He said, he was just joking. So sometimes we take things when things are readily available. It is said that when somebody is living on the bank of Ganges, so they use Ganges water for all purposes. When we are away from Ganges, even little drop of water, we take it so seriously. But when somebody is living near Ganges, he bathing with Ganga water, washing clothes with Ganga water. Similarly, it is said like if somebody is living, for us, sandalwood is very costly, very precious. But those who are living in sandalwood forest, they cut sandalwood and they fire it and cook food. So that means when it is readily available, we do not value it. Anyway, so this allegorical meaning is taking us to that direction. So just before coming here, so we were discussing something about Chanakya Pandit in Bhubaneswar. I would like to share certain points with, because Prabhupada is quoted. Yesterday when Prabhuji gave me the topic, the shloka number, I said, if there will be Chanakya Pandit, somewhere I'll take to that direction my presentation. And when I opened the purport, the first line Prabhupada said, the great politician Chanakya Pandit said. So now Chanakya Pandit, every one of us knows that Chanakya Pandit is known for certain, he's known for Akhand Bharat. Chanakya Pandit is known for his nitis, Kutniti. Chanakya Pandit is known for his politics. That is what we know about Chanakya Pandit through television and media. And then we see there on books. And railway station will find certain books, corporate Chanakya. So this is the notion of Chanakya that we have. But there is another phase of Chanakya that we are unaware of. So I would like to share about that particular. First of all, we know that Chanakya is being predicted in Srimad Bhagavatam 12th canto, that a certain Brahmana Chanakya will betray the trust of King Nanda. In 12th canto, first chapter, it is predicted that Chanakya Pandit will come and he'll betray the trust of King Nanda. Nanda, in television they show it Dhanananda. And then in his absence, in their absence, Mauryas will rule. And he will enthrone, Chandragupta will enthrone King Chandragupta as the king. And then his son will be Varisara or Bindusara. And then his son will be Ashokavardhana. So Srimad Bhagavatam is giving the prophecy of Chanakya Pandit. So why I am covering this point? Because Prabhupada is quoting Chanakya Pandit, so I am taking my presentation to that direction. So, like we know Chanakya from all this. I was asking students, what all things you know about Chanakya? So they said that Chanakya used to give poison to King Chandragupta. Little poison in his meal. And then gradually increasing the quantity of poison. So that if some other king will give poison to Chandragupta, it will not act upon, because Chandragupta will become adapted. So once upon a time, Chandragupta's wife, unknowingly, she partake to the food that was about to be taken by Chandragupta. And there was significant amount of poison in that. But Chandragupta was already adapted. But the wife was not, and she was pregnant at that time. So Chandragupta was not there, and somehow the wife took partake that food. And the poison, it was so deadly. And at that time, she was pregnant. So what Chanakya did, as Chanakya got to know, Chanakya immediately done the surgery, bring the baby out of the womb. And mother died, of course. Chandragupta's wife died. And this particular boy, because of the poison, there were certain bindus on his body, and his name became Bindusara or Varisara. And Srimad Bhagavatam is predicting that 2,500 years before Chanakya. But that is not the big deal because Srimad Bhagavatam Shastras are Trikaldarshi. One thing we see about Chanakya, you must have seen this kind of photographs about Chanakya. Many times Chanakya look like this. But then our version of Chanakya is this. Bhakti Vikas Maharaj's Trust has published this Chanakya Niti. So what is the difference between this Chanakya and this Chanakya? And the Tilak. Because outsiders think that Chanakya is something like this. But actually Chanakya is like this. Similarly, when we see Yamaraj, about Yamaraj, people portray Yamaraj as, you must have seen, like this. Because Yamaraj they put like this. Once upon a time we were having this drama about Nachiketa and Yamaraj. So we sent our students to get makeup in Chitralaya. So there they used to do this makeup. So I was about to call them and tell them that for us you make Yamaraj not like this, rather like this. Because our understanding is clear from Srimad Bhagavatam 6th canto that Yamaraj is a Mahajan and he is devoted to the Supreme Lord. And he is telling किसके पास जाना है, किसके पास नहीं जाना है. Do not approach your devotees, those who are chanting Hare Krishna, those who have Kantimala, those who have Tilak. Do not approach near them. Rather, those who are not doing it, bring them back to me. That means Yamaraj is a devotee. So devotee means he must have this kind of tilaka. And therefore Srila Prabhupada, if we see whatever, like Prabhupada have personally guided the paintings, in what sort of painting should be made. Each and every painting Prabhupada is guided. Sometimes we have heard this, like this past time. Someone made Krishna dole shole, like big. So Prabhupada said, no, Krishna is not like this. Krishna is Sukomal. Oh, then the disciples are, if Krishna is Sukomal, then how can he, Charnur and Mushtik, how can he fight with them? So although Krishna is Sukomal, but then it's inconceivable. It's not like God has to be dole shole. Similarly, see Western theology, they make God with big beards as if God is old, because their understanding is God is old. So old means he must have big beards, and according to their understanding, God is always angry, always ready to, you do some sin and he's always ready to give you punishment. But our understanding is, although he is Purana Purusham, although he is the oldest of old, but Navayovanam cha. So like this, and then accordingly Srila Prabhupada has directed his disciples to make paintings. So for us, Yamaraj is with Urdhva Punda Tilak, not with Tripunda Tilak. Similarly, Chanakya must be with Urdhva Punda Tilak, not with Tripunda. Because Chanakya is Lord Vishnu's devotee. Prabhupada, right, he's not a pure devotee, he's a mixed devotee, but still he has devotional temperament. So there are certain verses in Chanakya Niti which shows the devotional temperament of Chanakya. So we'll just take few verses. The first verse that Chanakya is writing in his Niti, we can recite. Pranamya Shirasa Vishnum Trilok Adipatim Prabhum Nana Shastodrutam Bakshe Rajaniti Samuchayam. So he's writing Pranam Shirasa Vishnu. This is the first verse in Chanakya Niti. So I am bowing down before Lord Vishnu. So nobody knows this. Everyone knows Chanakya is known for his Kutniti, for his politics. Everyone knows that Chanakya is known for his corporate Chanakya. But very less people know that Chanakya has this devotional temperament. Similarly, Chanakya is saying like Adhyetam Adhiyedam Yatha Shastram Naro Janati Sattamaha Dharmopdesha Bhikhyatam Karyakaryam Shubha Shubham. So Chanakya is saying that one should refer to Shastras to decide what has to be done, what not has to be done, what is Shubha, what is Ashubha, what is auspicious, what is not auspicious. Like in Bhagavad Gita 16 chapter last verse, Krishna says, Tasmat Shastra Pramanam te Karya Vyavastitau. We should take the Praman of Shastras. So like this, now like there are different themes that Chanakya has covered into his Niti. So for example, Chanakya has covered his Guru Bhakti. Like this particular verse. Pustaka pratyadhitam nadhitam guru sannidhau sabha madhye na shobhante जार गर्भा iva striya. So Chanakya is saying those who have taken bookish knowledge, knowledge from books, but they have not surrendered to the spiritual master. So sabha madhye na shobhante. So they do not shine in the assembly of learned men. Just like the mother of illegitimate children is not honored in the society. So we see many times there are many scholars. So they give lectures on different like on Nyaya, on Vedanta, on Mimamsa, etc., etc. So in their classroom they speak a lot about all these things, and as they come out they start smoking cigarettes. That means they have bookish knowledge of Shastras, but it has not worked for them. Why? Because Naditam Guru Sannidhav. They have not received this knowledge, transcendental knowledge, through Guru. But we see in ISKCON, even if someone does not have much knowledge, even if he comes for just 2-3 months, all their bad habit goes away. Why? Because they are taking knowledge from the realized soul. So Chanakya is here telling that one must not just take bookish knowledge, rather he must surrender to the spiritual master and take realized knowledge from him. Then Chanakya says that we can recite this, ekam api aksharam yastu guru shishyam prabodayet prithvim nasti tadravyam jaddatva suarni bhavet. Prithvim na asti tadravyam jaddatva suarni bhavet. There is no treasure on the earth that we can say, okay, I have given it to my guru and now I am free from all debt. It's not possible. Ekam api aksharam yastu. Even if someone has taught us one akshar, one alphabet, one word, single syllable. Prithvim nasti tadravyat. There is nothing on this earth that we can give it to guru and then we can say, okay, now I am free from all kinds of debt. So there is a famous doha from Kabir Das. North India, this Kabir dohe are very famous. You can recite. Yah tan vish ki belari, Guru amrit ki khan, sheesh diyo jo guru mile, to bhi sasta jaan. So if we are offering our heads, cutting head and offering it to guru, and then we are receiving spiritual master's mercy, still we should consider ki saste mein nipat gaya, very cheaply, because it's not easy. So Chanakya, Kabir is saying, sheesh diye guru mile, still it is very cheap. So this and then how one can get realized knowledge from guru? Say, guru has done lot of austerities, lot of penances, lot of shastric studies, and we are not qualified enough. Like our acharyas have done so much. Sarvabhaum Prabhu used to say that Raghunath Das Goswami and other acharyas, other Goswamis, like Raghunath Das Goswami used to drink chach, 1 cup of chach, and written so many books. And even after eating rasmalai in ISKCON, we are not able to read them. So how unfortunate we are. So, but it's our conditioned state. So now in our conditioned state, we are not able to do so much austerity, so much penances, like the austerity that Srila Prabhupada has performed and our previous acharyas have performed. We do not have that much strength. But then we want something in shortcut. So what is the shortcut? So here Chanakya is telling, if you want realized knowledge from Guru in shortcut, here is a shortcut. Khanitva hi khanitrena bhutale vari vindati tatha guru gatam vidyam shrushu shur adhigacchati. Just like one who digs and obtained the underground water, similarly if someone simply offered loving devotional service to spiritual master, just serving spiritual master wholeheartedly, they derive realized knowledge from spiritual master. In Mahabharata, we see the story of the disciples of Dhaumya Rishi, Aruni and others. What they did? They simply served spiritual master wholeheartedly and they derived all the realized knowledge. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, we see Sandipani Muni is telling to Krishna that Krishna, what you have done, you have served me wholeheartedly. This body is very dear to you, dear to everyone, but you have not cared for this body. You have sacrificed all your comforts for me. And therefore, I am giving you the blessing. Whatever you'll say, it will remain ever fresh. You'll derive all the realized knowledge. And we see that Srila Prabhupada disciples, they are so realized simply on the dint of the service that they have performed to Srila Prabhupada. Like I got to know that Prabhuji is serving for last 52 years. For 52 years of serving to Srila Prabhupada. So this is the secret of deriving realized knowledge from Guru. Now Chanakya is giving us what is the importance of association, or what kind of association we should take. Tyajya durjana samasargam bhaja sadhu samagamam kuru punyam ahoratram smara nityam anityatam. So Chanakya is suggesting Tyajya durjan samasargam. We should give up the association of bad people. Prahlad Maharaj says in one of his prayer that, my dear Lord, I am not afraid of your fearful form. Your teeth, your ears, your this. Because when Lord Narsinga Dev appeared, Naham bhivemi ajityati bhayanakasya jivha arka netra bhrikuti rabha ugra danstrat. I am not fearful of this fearful form. Because when Lord Narsinga Dev appeared, so when he killed Hiranyakashipu, all his hairs were wet with the blood of Hiranyakashipu. So if somebody will, if we would have been on Prahlada's place, anytime we would have become, fearful. But Prahlad is saying, I am not fearful. I am not fearful of this fearsome form. Then Lord asked, what you are fearful of? Then he said, my dear Lord, I am fearful of non-devotee association. I am fearful of bad association. So kindly protect me from that association. So Tyaj durjana samasargam and bhaja sadhu sangamam. So that is what Chanakya is suggesting. Kuru punyam ahoratram. We should, by day and night, we should acquire virtue. We should do some kind of beneficial activities for others. And smara nityam anityatam. And constantly we should meditate what is nitya, what is anitya. Krishna consciousness is nitya, and the material prosperity, it's all anitya. Like this. And then Chanakya is suggesting that na bipra padodak kardamani na veda shastra dhvani garjitani स्वाहा स्वाधा करा विवर्जितानि शमशान तुल्यानि ग्रहाणितानि. Chanakya is saying the house in which the lotus feet of Brahmanas are not washed, in which Vedic mantras are not loudly recited, in which the holy sounds of Swaha, Swadha is not resounded, is no better than funeral pyre. It's just like Shamshan. Similar verse appears when Chatush Kumara goes to Prithu Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj tells them, Byal alay druma vaiteshu arikt akhila sampada jat griha tirtha padiya pad tirtha bibarjita. If there is no water to wash the lotus feet of devotees like you, that kind of house is just like Vyal alay, the home of the snakes. And even if somebody adhana api te dhanya sadhava grahamedinam, somebody is not rich, adhana, but they become dhanya when sadhu comes to their home. So we can see like Chanakya Pandit, so gradually he is taking to that association of devotees, sheltered of Guru. So different themes he has covered in his Niti. Like this. Sadhunam darshanam punyam tirtha bhutahi sadhavaha kalena phalate tirtham sadhya sadhu samagamaha. So we have seen this many times, this verse, this kind of, in Vaishnava song also. Simply by Tomar darshane pavitra karo. When we approach Ganges, so after long time Ganges purifies. Kalena phalate tirtham. But sadhya sadhu samagamaha. Ganges purify after long time. But simply by your darshan one become purified. And what are these sadhu? They are Tirtha Bhuta, they are personification of Tirtha. When Srila Prabhupada was in Vrindavan, Prabhuji was there with him, I got to know. He studied what he was telling me. So once we have heard this pastime, that different devotees, they were roaming around. Somebody was in Radha Kund, somebody was in Radha Raman, somebody was in Loi Baja. Prabhupada asked, where is everyone? So, said Prabhupada, they have gone to take darshan of Vrindavan. Well, here is Vrindavan. Where there is sadhu, here is Vrindavan. So, Tirtha Bhuta is sadhava. So, Chanakya is suggesting that. Similarly, now Chanakya is becoming little more devotional. He is telling, now, oh my dear Lord Ramachandra, with whom I can compare you? So, sometimes we compare Lord with Kalpavriksha. Chanakya is saying, the Kalpavriksha is, okay, we may compare Lord Ramachandra with Kalpavriksha, but ultimately Vriksha, it's mere wood. Then somebody say, no, we can compare Lord Ramachandra with Mount Meru, who is Achala, but ultimately means it's made up of gold. So Chanakya is saying, but ultimately it is motionless. Somebody may say that we can compare Lord with Chintamani, but Chanakya is saying ultimately Chintamani is a mani, it's a patthar, it's a stone. Then somebody may say, okay, we can compare Lord with sun. But the point is, sun is scorching. And somebody can say that, okay, we can compare Lord with moon, Ramachandra. But moon has problem. What is the problem? It is waning. We can say he is Gunarnava. He is ocean of mercy. He is ocean of good qualities. So that means we can compare Lord with ocean. But then Chanakya is saying ocean is ultimately saline. It is salty. Can we compare it with Kamadeva? But Kamadeva is Ananga. Lord Shiva has already burned his body. We can say, okay, Lord Ramachandra is as benevolent as Bali Maharaj. But ultimately Bali is the Daitya. Can we compare it with Kamadhenu? But Kamadhenu is a cow. So considering all this, my dear Lord, I cannot compare you with anyone. You can be compared with you alone. So like this. So everyone knows corporate Chanakya. Everyone knows Chanakya's Akhanda Bharat policy. But very less of us knows about Chanakya's devotional temperament. Now Chanakya is becoming even more devotional. He is saying, Jai Sham Shrimad Yashoda Sutta Pada Ye Sham Shrimad Yashoda Sutta Pada Kamale Nasti Bhaktir Naranam Ye Sham Abhir Kanya Priya Suna Kathane Nanurakta Rasagya Ye Sham Shri Krishna Leela Lalita Rasa Katha Sadarau Naiva Karnau Dhiktan Dhigetan Kathayati Satatam Kirtanastho Mridangaha. So when we do Kirtan, we chant Hare Krishna. So we are chanting Hare Krishna. But then Mridanga is also chanting something. What is the chant? Dhiktan, Dhiktan, Dhiktan. So what does it mean? Dhiktan, Dhiktan. Dhikkar hai, Dhikkar hai, Dhikkar hai. Mridanga is saying Dhikkar hai. Kis pe Dhikkar hai? Shame upon those who are without devotion to the lotus feet of Shri Krishna, the darling son of Mother Yashoda. So what Mridanga is saying? Dhik means Dhikkar hai, Dhikkar hai. Kis pe Dhikkar hai? जिनके हृदय में भगवान कृष्ण के प्रति भक्ति नहीं है. Those who are without devotion to the lotus feet of Shri Krishna, the darling son of Mother Yashoda, who are not attached to the discussing the glories of Srimati Radharani, and whose ears are not eager to listen the pastime of Shri Krishna. This is the exclamation of Mridanga's beat at Kirtan. Dhiktan, 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 Dhikkar hai, Dhikkar hai, Dhikkar hai. So Chanakya is saying those who are not attached to the hearing Krishna Katha, unka जीवन धिक्कार hai. Then Chanakya is becoming even more devotional. Haste dana vivarjitau Shutipatau Saraswat drohinau नेत्रे साधु विलोकनेन रहिते पादौ न तीर्थम गतौ अन्यायर्जित वित्तपूर्णम उदरम गर्वेण तुंगम शिरो रे रे जम्बुक मुच्च मुच्च सहसा नीचम सुनिंद्यम वपु. So Chanakya saying, "O jackal, re re jumbak, jambuka, re re, O jambuk, O jackal, you will become contaminated." Although jackal eats dead body, but if you will eat dead body of one, haste dan vivarjitau, one of men whose hands has never given in charity, whose ears have never heard the voice of learning, whose eyes have not beheld a pure devotee of the Lord, whose feet have never walked to the holy tirthas, whose belly is fed by illegal earnings, and whose head is held high by vanity. Do not eat it. If you will eat that kind of dead body, you will become polluted. Last. Okay, then one more. Ka chinta mama jivane jadi हरि विश्वम्बरो गीयते न चेद अर्भक जीवनाय जननी स्तन्यम कथम निर्मये इति आलोच्य मुहुर्मुहुर् जदुपते लक्ष्मीपते केवलम त्वत्पदाम्बुज सेवनेन सततम कालो मया नीयते. का चिंता मम जीवने यदि हरि विश्वम्बरो गीयते. Why should I be concerned for my maintenance while absorbed in praising the glories of Lord Vishwambara, the supporter of all? Hari is known as Vishwambara. He is supporting everyone. If I am singing his glories, then where is the concern for my own maintenance? And the praman, the proof that Chanakya is giving, Nachet arbhaka jivanaya janani stanyam katham nirmayet. When a child is born, immediately there is milk in mother's breast. So if Lord is arranging for that, why will not Lord arrange for me who is singing the glories? And therefore, iti alocyat, considering this, muhur, I am again thinking about it. O Yadupati, O Lakshmipate, Tvat padam bhuja sevanena satatam, kalo maya niyate. I want to spend my entire time in your service. The question may arise, if entire time of Chanakya will goes in Lord's service, then how he will do politics, how he will do Akhanda Bharat, etc. So the example is given in Srimad Bhagavatam, how Amrish Maharaj was doing, how Yudhishthira Maharaj was doing. So their time was already engaged in Krishna consciousness, but still their kingdom was growing so nicely. In Yudhishthira Maharaj's time we see cows were giving so much milk that the grasslands were green and they were wet because of cow's milk. So much prosperity. The mountains were giving resources. The rivers were giving resources. So many things. So here's the secret. Corporate Chanakya. Here's the secret. If somebody is engaged in Krishna consciousness, all the prosperities follows. Mata cha Kamala Devi, Pita Devo Janardanaha, Bandhava Vishnu Bhaktascha, Swadesho Bhuvanatrayam. One who understands his mother to be Lakshmi Devi and father to be Lord Vishnu, and his relatives are Vishnu Bhaktas, then he can travel all around the world. Bhuvanam Trayam. For him, the entire universe is his home. The only consideration is one has to consider Mata is Lakshmi Devi and Pita is Janardana. And relatives are Vishnu Bandhavas. Then Chanakya is suggesting, if somebody wants to become more opulent than Indra, then what he has to do? Swahasta Gratita Mala, Swahasta Grasta Chandanam, Swahasta Likhitam Strotam, Shakarasyapi Shriyam Haret. So by preparing a garland for the deity with one's own hand, or offering flowers with one's own hand, or plucking flowers, any activity in devotional service. By grinding sandalwood paste for the Lord, as we do during Chandan Yatra, and by penning sacred verses with an own hand, one becomes blessed with opulence equal to that of Indra. So Chanakya is giving secret. Last verse I guess. Yes. And then Chanakya is saying how one must manage his life and time, day. Say praturdyuta prasangena madhyane stri prasangataha ratrau chaura prasangena kalo gacchati dhimatam. So how we should mold our day? So morning must be for Dyuta Prasangena. In the morning we should discuss about Dyuta, gambling. सुबह जुए के बारे में सुनना चाहिए. मध्याह्ने स्त्री प्रसंगा. And in afternoon we should discuss about women. And in the evening we should discuss about thief. And this is how we should manage our time. What does it mean? Dyuta Prasangena is Mahabharata. Sri Prasangataha is Ramayana. And Chaura Prasangena is Krishna book. Night means Krishna book. So this is how we should mold our time. So we can see this is Chanakya's devotional temperament. And therefore Srila Prabhupada is very fond of Chanakya. Many times he is quoting Chanakya. So, so because Srila Prabhupada quoted Chanakya in this particular purport, so I thought to discuss this Chanakya's devotional temperament, of which people are generally unaware. So now we can, because everybody is fond of Chanakya. So whoever will tell these verses that Chanakya is a devotee, and he's telling this is how we should mold our activity, we should mold our day. So naturally people will become convinced. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions, comments?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Bhoji. Thank you, Bhoji, very much for wonderful class. You told about Chanakya Niti, and in the starting you told one point that Devhuti following the Kardama Muni. So Kardama Muni have get the blessing of the Lord. He go to back to Godhead, and Devhuti still does not do any austerity and those things, but they still she also get the same benefit what Kardama Muni get the benefit. So my question on that point, Bhoji, in that you give the example also, if disciple follow the Guru, even he just do the devotional service to the Guru or spiritual master, automatically his progress will be taken care. But Bhoji, we find out many times that there are very simple disciples or women who follow his husband or Guru, but later they find out that they cheated, and till the time they understand, they have lost the age or opportunity to get progress in bhakti. So what happened to those people who have direct faith on a spiritual master or Guru, whom he is following like blindly? Matlab, here he does not discriminating the things. Like example I want to give, like Gandhari following the Dhritarashtra, his husband, and Devyani following the Yati. So what happened to those?
So Prabhu's question is like, if somebody is following a spiritual master who is not up to the standard, that is that the and the example that you give. I would like to answer it in ISKCON's context. See, for us, like many times we have seen that even if we have seen this, that in our society it has been structured so nicely that even if we follow someone who is not up to this standard, or who could not prove himself, but still the disciples Krishna consciousness is safeguarded. In our society, I am answering this context. In this context, I am saying many times we have seen that if somebody does not have a very good relationship with the spiritual master, or maybe he does not, like spiritual master not up to the standard, but still a disciple life is safeguarded, because we have the beautiful structure that is being created by Srila Prabhupada. We were at Srila Prabhupada's disappearance day celebration in Vrindavan. So Dinabandhu Prabhu was telling one thing, that he was telling that that somebody told Dinabandhu Prabhu that all the Brajvasis are very happy with your ISKCON people. Why? And the reason they gave is, the Brajvasis told Dinabandhu Prabhu That why we are very happy, because we have seen that there are many spiritualists, spiritual leaders. So when they were present in the planet, so their movement was growing, many people were coming, and but when they left, nobody was coming, nobody was interested. But in your society, what we can see is, even after Srila Prabhupada left, 46 years, still your society is growing, many people are coming, and they're still following Srila Prabhupada. And not just following, like it's growing, they're following wholeheartedly. And whatever like development we are seeing in Vrindavan today is because of ISKCON, no, directly or indirectly. So we can see that Srila Prabhupada has created such a wonderful structure that a disciple who is in ISKCON, his spiritual life is safeguarded. He may not have, sometimes we see that disciples do not have direct relationship with spiritual master in sense of personal relationship, but still they are being taken care. We have such a wonderful system. When spiritual master leaves, so then also disciples are being taken care. When spiritual master has spiritual difficulties, then also disciples are being taken care. So this is the wonderful structure that has been created by Srila Prabhupada. That is, that answer I am giving in ISKCON's context. In other context, as you have asked, if somebody is following someone, but then Krishna is sitting in their heart, and Krishna knows, Krishna sees, understand the level of sincerity. As you give the example of Gandhari followed Dhritarashtra. Gandhari knew that Dhritarashtra is doing wrong, and Dhritarashtra himself knew that I am doing wrong. But what can I do? I am conditioned. Atha kena prayuktayam papam chariti purusha. Anichchanapi varshneya baladeva niyojita. So, anichchanapi, I do not want to get involved in such things. I know that I am doing wrong with the Pandavas, but what can I do? I have this strong attachment towards my children. So Dhritarashtra knew, Gandhari knew that Dhritarashtra is doing wrong. But let's see what happened at the end. Dhritarashtra was giving spiritual injunctions by Vidura. He left home, Gandhari left with him, and they both achieved perfection. Similarly, they give the example of Yayati and Devayani. At the last, they achieved perfection. When Yayati Maharaj got to know that there is certain king named Ambrisha in our dynasty, he was so devoted, and we are so attached to sense gratification. So simply by hearing the narrations of Ambrisha Maharaj, Yayati becomes so inspired that now I have to take Krishna consciousness seriously. But how can I take Krishna consciousness seriously if my better half is not taking seriously? So let me preach it to her. And then he told the story of goat, but it was not the story of goat, it was their own story. And at last they achieved perfection. So Krishna, Prabhupada writes in Science of Self-Realization, if someone wants to get cheated, they'll receive a cheating guru. But if somebody is sincere at heart, by all means and ways, Krishna will arrange. So we have to have that faith. Hare Krishna.
How we can think that Dhritarashtra and Gandhari has achieved perfection, Prabhuji?
Bhagavatam says. Bhagavatam, it is mentioned. Dhritarashtra quits home, that's a chapter.
What kind of liberation they got, Prabhuji?
Prabhuji can answer this.
In the Bhagavatam it is said there are three types of people, sannyasi, dhira and narottama. So Vidura was a narottam, pure devotee, and Dhritarashtra could not become a pure devotee, but he got liberated. That was the best perfection he could achieve because of his nature. Prabhupada writes that. But that is also considered perfection because he was not just rotting in material life. He got liberated from material life. So his future is bright for him. Thank you. It was a beautiful class, Prabhu. Haribo. So Tukaram Prabhu was the leader of a team of devotees sent from Ujjain to Bhubaneswar. When he went to Bhubaneswar, he was in white and he was a very young devotee. There were about how many? Four of you went or five? Four devotees were sent. Many times when you send a team of people to any temple, when they are young, in a new place, new administration, they can't withstand it, they will run away many times. But he persisted, although Bhubaneswar temple has many, many very old senior devotees, disciples of His Holiness Gaur Govind Swami. He stayed there and won their heart and also grew up his team. Today you go and see Bhubaneswar temple, there are hundreds of youths there. I had gone for a youth camp there and it was a marvelous program. One thing you may probably not know is Tukaram Prabhu's another side of his personality, where he knows to bring CSR funds to the temple, like corporate social responsibility funds, in engaging that and various value building for the students and many other activities like that. And close to IIT Bhubaneswar, he's about to start a small Govindas there. So just at the door of IIT, because the boys don't get proper prasad, so the Govindas will give them prasad and also distribute Prabhupada books and give them transcendental knowledge also. So he's a very great thinker in terms of propagating the message of the Vedas. So after he took up the youth preaching in Bhubaneswar, he made magazines and he made youth programs. He started program, and there is one very special program that he is doing there, which is called Bhaktivedanta Reading Library. So many students are preparing for GATE or CAT or for IIT JEE, NEET exam and all that. So they are looking for a serene place with a cubicle or something where they can study in a focused way. So I think he started a couple of 2 or 3 such BRR, correct na? 3 in Bhubaneswar itself. In Bhubaneswar itself they have 3 such places where hundreds of very intelligent students come to study, and pin drop silence there. They have policies for studying. But along with that, they are also having weekend programs. If any of them is inclined to devotional service, then he also arranges opportunity for them to hear a class. And amongst them, some of them are so inspired by devotional service that they want to stay together. So above the reading room, there is a flat where most interested students can stay together and have an altar, do the morning program. Of course, the morning program is made in such a manner that it will not affect their studies. A brief morning program they do and then they study all day. And they crack, and many of them they crack UPSC or they crack IIT, crack such exams. So because the students are very focused and brilliant students, even if a handful of them become Krishna's devotees, it's a very big service. So, and also it brings some earning also, with which he can use it for youth preaching. So he is very innovative and creative and thoughtful leader. So Tukaram Prabhu is very intelligent. And he grew up, now he has taken saffron and leading the group. And I foresee a very bright future for Bhubaneswar. When I had gone last time, His Holiness Bhakti Prem Maharaj and His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj have blessed him. And by their blessings, now he also has His Holiness Haladhar Maharaj there locally. So he has got very good association of many great souls. And the youth preaching is taking leaps and bounds there. So he is actually here because sometimes some of his students are in different parts of India. He goes to meet them. And also he meets many high-level politicians and everybody, industrialists, and connecting them to ISKCON. So he has that side of talent also, apart from his studying Shastra and preaching and being a very wonderful devotee. So let us appreciate Tukaram Prabhu with one Haribo.